All right, we're about to dive into a story that is so much more than just barbecue sauce. Seriously, this is a tale of pure passion, a road trip across an entire continent just for flavor, and a quest for perfection that took over 2 decades to complete.
It all really boils down to this one simple but incredibly powerful statement from the founders. No fluff, no distractions. For them, this isn't some side gig or a hobby. It is a singular, all-consuming focus. This is their entire world.
So that's the real question, isn't it? I mean, it's one thing to say you love barbecue, but it is a completely different thing to dedicate your entire life to it. Let's follow the smoke trail and find out.
So, our story kicks off with a group of friends from the Netherlands. They called themselves the Dutch Barbecue Crew, and they set out on this insanely ambitious mission to find, to understand, and ultimately to preserve what they call real barbecue.
25. Just let that number sink in for a second. That really shows you the sheer scale of their commitment. This was not some quick summer road trip. We're talking about a quarter of a century spent crisscrossing America, visiting every single one of the 50 states just to soak in its unique barbecue culture. Now, that is dedication on a whole other level.
And look, their goal wasn't just to eat great food, it was to learn. They were talking to locals, studying in restaurants, picking the brains of professional pit masters everywhere they went. They were on a genuine quest for the very soul of American barbecue.
Okay, so after decades of research, it was finally time to put all of that hard-earned knowledge on the line. They decided to enter the high-stakes, super fierce world of championship barbecue. And they did not start small. Nope, they went straight for the top, the Memphis in May Festival. You have to understand, this is the Super Bowl of swine. It's the World Cup of Q. Teams pour thousands of dollars into this, bringing their absolute A game, because a win here can literally make your entire career.
So you can see how this all played out. Their journey really began back in the 90s with just pure discovery. Then, through the 2000s, that discovery turned into refinement as they started honing their recipes for competition. And it all led to this one incredible moment in 2015.
And they did it. The Dutch Barbecue Crew went right into the heartland of American barbecue and won the super prestigious Whole Hog Award, becoming the undisputed world champions. All that travel, all that learning, it was all validated on the world's biggest stage. Just incredible. Okay, so this is where their journey becomes your journey, because their products aren't just random concoctions from a lab. No way. They're like edible souvenirs, each one a bottled-up story from a specific place they visited on their American pilgrimage. And the diversity is just amazing. You go to Alabama and you find this totally unique, peppery, mayonnaise-based white sauce. Then you head to Memphis, and it's all about those deep, sweet, and smoky flavors. And of course, in Kansas City, you get that classic, iconic red sauce we all know. Each region tells a completely different story through its flavor. So let's zoom in on that Alabama white sauce for a second. It's an iconic flavor, right? And its story is all thanks to one guy, the legendary Big Bob Gibson. But getting his recipe is a little complicated. The crew found out this fantastic little story about the sauce. So way back in 1925, Big Bob created it. And today, if you go to his restaurant and ask for the recipe, they'll actually give it to you. But here's the catch. Everyone who asks gets a different version. The real one is still a secret. The Great Goods version is inspired by that original, but they smartly made it a little less acidic to suit modern tastes. Then you get to the Carolinas, and it's all about mustard. But even there's a divide. In the North, with its English influence, they like a thinner, more acidic vinegar-based sauce. But in the South, thanks to French influence, they go for a sweeter, thicker sauce. Great Goods chose that Southern style, slow cooking it to bring out that perfect sweet and sharp balance. But, as any pitmaster will tell you, world-class barbecue is about so much more than just the sauce you put on at the end. It's about building layers of flavor with a complete arsenal of tools. First up, rubs. A rub is that amazing blend of herbs and spices that you put on before you start cooking to create that incredible crust, what they call the bark. And get this, their all-purpose rub wasn't just cooked up in a lab. It was perfected over 25 years of actual travel, tweaking the recipe after every single trip to America.
Next, we've got brining. Now, this is an old-school preservation technique that they've brought into the modern barbecue kitchen. And why do they do it? Well, because soaking meat in a salt solution actually changes its structure, making it unbelievably tender, juicy, and packed with flavor. It's a total game changer, especially for leaner cuts of meat.
And they make this pro technique so easy to do. You can either do a classic wet brine, which is just soaking your meat in a salt bath, or if you're in a hurry and want to get that flavor deep into the core of the meat, you can use an injector. 2 simple paths to an absolutely perfect result.
So what does this all actually mean for you, the person firing up the grill in your own backyard? Let's bring this all home. Here's the bottom line. When you pick up a bottle of Grate goods, you are not just buying sauce or a rub. You are buying a story. You're buying a quarter-century of road-tested, competition-proven, world championship-winning expertise, all in one bottle.
And these are the founders' own words. This is their mission now. They've done all the traveling, they've won the awards, and now they want to share that knowledge and that passion to help you create your own legendary barbecue.
Which really just leaves us with one final thought. With all these flavors and these incredible stories right at your fingertips, your next cookout doesn't have to be just burgers and hot dogs. It can be a trip to Memphis, a taste of the Carolinas, or a brand new story of your own. The only question left is, what story will you tell?